Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. If you're new here, my name is Matt. Today on the channel, we're opening and hopefully closing an investigation into myself and an investigation into Woodford Batch Proof. I purchased this bottle of Woodford Batch Proof a few weeks back when I was visiting family way up north in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I picked it up kind of against my will, but not totally against my will. I wanted to have a bottle that I could taste on a live stream, something that I hadn't had before. And when I went into a local store, guess what they had in store for me and my high interest credit card? A 2024 Woodford Batch Proof. $160 plus tax later, I took this Woodford Batch Proof from them. And a paper bag. Upon first tasting of this Woodford Batch Proof, could you say I was impressed? Sure, if you wanted to be a stupid idiot liar, and nobody likes those, so I wouldn't recommend saying that I enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, the way it hit me was a bit odd. I was a bit perplexed because from what I remembered of Woodford Batch Proofs from the past, they were like pretty good. I've always enjoyed the Woodford Batch Proofs I've purchased. Have they been overpriced? Sure. But then I opened this one. And I was like, wow, that is underwhelming. Like baking a batch of cookies and accidentally substituting baking soda for baking powder. When you open the oven, things are gonna be inflated in some areas, but also like underwhelming in other areas, like the flavor. And that's what I think we have on our hands here. That's why I think that the 2024 Woodford Batch Proof is the most disappointing bourbon I've tasted in 2024. But I didn't want to do a simple review and taste it and bash it. Instead, what I decided to do was take this bottle from 2022 plus 1 year, 2023 Woodford Batch Proof, 118.4 proof versus 121.2 proof. If my estimations are correct, the 2023 version is gonna stomp all over the 2024 version because I did enjoy this pour, and this one I thought was poor, like bad. So in order to determine whether or not Woodford Batch Proof 2024 is the most disappointing pour of 2024, or if I'm full of absolute shit, I need to taste them both side by side blind and see which one comes out on top. Do I have them poured already? Absolutely, not wasting your time with that. So you're welcome. I'll waste your time with something else later. But since I didn't waste your time, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up too, because if you had a channel, I would do it for you if it was halfway decent. If it sucked, I probably wouldn't. But just my honesty deserves a subscribe. Just saying. The 2023 is labeled with a 3. The 2024, labeled with a 4. Accuracy at its finest. Holding the Julie-like wheel of confusion like I am the finest of waiters. Like I am on the dream wait staff, the Olympic dream team wait staff. Holding it, tilting it, and then swirling it. Eyes closed, let's confuse a me. Comes to a stop, and oh boy, where are we at? Got them both. Got them both. And just like a good waiter, you put your fingers inside of the glasses so that the people you're serving your drinks to know what your fingers smell like. Putting that down, and now we have glasses in hand. We'll call this glass A and this glass B. Let's go in for a smell, shall we? First glass smells a bit like, almost a bit peanut buttery, like one of those black and orange candies that you would unwrap on Halloween. A little bit of brown sugar, like a caramelized brown sugar and peanut butter. Now some cherry cola's coming out of here. The peanut butter note I was getting is dissipating, which makes sense because I don't know if I've ever gotten nuttiness on a Woodford Reserve product. Woodford, of course, is a Brown-Forman product, so you'd think more banana and less nuts. But then again, I'm nuts, so who's to say? What I'm smelling, me or the whiskey? Now let's move to Glass B. Glass B has a bit of a funk to it. Glass B kind of smells like your grandmother's wet basement. Maybe not a wet basement, but a basement of a grandmother's whose basement has been wet previously. Like a carpeted basement that got wet several times and then dried several times. Glass B is a bit basementy. Glass B has a weird funk to it. Glass B smells like a butterscotch candy that hasn't taken a shower all month. And it's summertime. Glass A down the hatch. Glass A is a bit woody. It does maintain the cola note, but in a less flavorful cola. Kind of like a cardboard cola. Not super oily and leaves a bit to be desired throughout the palate and on the finish. It's not something I absolutely hate, but it does leave a bit to be desired. It just does. I'll take a sip of sample B, then I'll go back and forth a little bit to determine which one is the better Woodford batch proof. Glass B down the hatch. Glass B reminds me a bit of Glass A if Glass A sucked a lot more than Glass B. Because Glass B is incorporating some sort of a funky, weird flavor. It's almost like mossy or like something wrong with it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it doesn't taste right. It just doesn't taste right. Will I be embarrassed if Glass B is from 2023 and Glass A is from 2024? Yes, I will be. Will I still edit and publish this video? That remains to be seen. Glass A, one more sip. This is what I'll say. And I think I've said this about Woodford batch proof in the past. The $160 price tag on these bottles is way too much. It's way too much. They're not age stated, but they say that their whiskey mimics the age of an older whiskey by the way they artificially fluctuate the temperatures inside their rick houses. Neither of these taste extra old, but one of them does taste extra funky. Neither of these are $160 pours, that's for sure. Glass B is not something that I enjoy to drink, and Glass B kind of makes me go, ugh. It just has this weird funk to it that I'm not a fan of, and I can't get past it. Therefore, Glass A is the winner in this bourbon skirmish that was never even named a bourbon skirmish. With that being said, I have no idea which glass is which. I'm just hoping that Glass B is from 2024. Which glass did I dislike the most? Oh, if you can see it. Can you see it? I can't see it yet. Son of a bitch. Well, shit. Son of a bitch. Why didn't I just make a video saying that the 2024 Woodford Reserve Batch Proof was the most disappointing whiskey of 2024? No. I had to try to validate it. I had to try to go out and validate it by tasting last year's next to it. Stupid idiot video. Oh, don't blame the video, Matt. It was your fault. You did it to yourself. I said I liked the one last year. And I didn't like the one this year because apparently I'm more of a whiskey snob than ever. But I like last year's less than this year's when I taste them side by side. So you don't know what you're talking about, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm the expert. Proved a point today. Case opened and case closed. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that before I talked total shit on the 2024. I still don't think it's worth 160 bucks. I wonder if Rare Breed is better than this. I'm putting this video out on Friday, July 26th. Tonight, on my live stream tonight, I'm giving away a couple bottles of Stag 23C and my Barrel King batch 85 wheated fish. I'm giving those bottles away in the live stream tonight, but I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna buy a new bottle of Rare Breed, and I'm gonna put it in a flight with Elijah Craig A124, Smoke Eye Hill, Woodford Batch Proof 2024, and Rare Breed. I'm gonna put those in a blind flight because I want to find out if the cheapest varietal of barrel strength bourbon, Rare Breed, takes the night, because it might. So tune in for that tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, my live stream. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey, like I always say. Keep your head in the clouds, but your mind. I'm double checking how you feel about something before you say it out loud. Before you go out on a tangent and say things that in the long run turns out you don't mean. Before you go spitting nonsense. Before you get all extra up in yourself and thinking that you're the almighty. Maybe do a double check. Maybe check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what that means. Think about things before you make the ultimate decision and make a video about it. Because sometimes what you think isn't necessarily what you think.